So that's why this can be tricky, but it's not that tricky if you follow that key rule. It refers to whatever calls this function, so the part on the left of the dot. You know how to bind a different value to this, but what you probably ask yourself, if I bind person here, for example, but imagine this function also takes an argument like a message, and it would log out message plus this, for example. Well, how could we pass this message? Well, bind takes multiple arguments. The first argument is always to what this should be bound, but all the other arguments are the normal function arguments this function here, which in the end will refer to this one, expects to get. So I could just say hello there, and if I run this, and I should add parentheses here, of course, if I run this, I get hello object here, of course, because this refers to this object. But this is how I can pass arguments to a function to which I bound with this bind method here. Another way would be to use call here. Still, I would pass what this should refer to, and then my message. But here, I don't need the extra parentheses here. This instantly calls the method on its own. So if I now click on run, you'll still see hello object. So the main difference is I don't have the extra parentheses. That of course is not just a stylistic thing. With bind, you can bind this value and use it later because it's not called instantly. With call, it is called instantly, and that might be the behavior you want. You also got another method, apply. It generally works exactly the same as call. It also calls the function immediately, but you pass the arguments not as a comma-separated list of arguments, but instead as an array. Whatever you prefer, this still works. So bind, call, and apply are the important helpers here, which make sure that your function you call uses this in the right context, and you're not using a this you don't want to use.